Wonder Boy was a perennial fixture of arcades in the 80s. I remember Wonder Boy cabinets absolutely everywhere, even more so than the games that inspired it, such as Super Mario Bros. And Pac-Land. Released in 1986 and developed by Escape, who went on to create a slew of sequels after changing their name to Westone Bit Entertainment, starting with Wonder Boy in Monsterland in 1987. The game has a complicated licensing history with various ports released for the game. The Nintendo version is worthy of note since Escape and partner Hudson Soft created a version where the main character was replaced with gamer and Hudson Soft executive Takahashi Meijin, famous for his fast trigger finger speed. I'm not even joking. The game was well received by critics at the time, who compared the game favourably to Mario Bros., although CMVG magazine stated it was not as complicated, but just as playable, whatever that means. Playable? The game itself gives very few hints as to the plot beyond the title screen, which shows the caveman-like Wonder Boy, along with a lady caveman, or cavewoman, if you will. Where's she in the game? We're probably trying to find her, right? But with no internet to turn to, we're truly in the dark until the very end when Wonder Boy, or Tom Tom, it turns out his name is, rescues Tina, his girlfriend, from the clutches of a mask-wearing boss character who must be defeated at the end of each of the game's 7 areas. Each area consists of 4 levels, so there's quite a lot to get through. Apparently there's even a bonus 8th area accessed by collecting a certain number of dolls that are dotted throughout the game. There are varying accounts of how many of these you need, but I don't have the skill or the patience to attempt it. The gameplay is that of a classic side-scrolling platformer. Wonder Boy can jump, dash. Holding jump while dashing causes him to jump higher. You can also do a standing jump. If you hit left or right and then jump, he kind of jumps on the spot higher. Throw stone axes with the appropriate pickup. Ride the perilous skateboard, which I always avoid because it always kills me. But the trick to the game is remembering the position of the enemies, the platforms that move in unpredictable ways or drop out from underneath you, and environmental hazards like boulders and campfires. I say remember because this is one of those games that it is impossible to complete on your first attempt. It's designed to kill you in unexpected ways and very often, encouraging you to try again once you know what is coming up. In this way, it's more like a puzzle game, with most of the solutions only possible once you know the enemy placement and where you're going to need to jump. They all require twitch skills, but you need to know what's coming up really before you can react. So it's a speedrunner's dream, really, with skilled players memorising absolutely everything and able to make those pixel-perfect jumps. But for the average player, or the new player, it can be absolutely infuriating at times. It's interesting to note how game design has changed over time, trending away from an experience that deliberately kills you, because the player could get fed up and rage quit. But this is a different time, and Wonder Boy is hard in that way. You're expected to die, and memory and repetition are as important as spur-of-the-moment skill. An interesting mechanic that I'd completely forgotten about, actually, is your vitality that slowly drains down and is replenished by eating fruits and other food. You can pick up an item that turns berries into like Big Macs and ice cream sundaes, which doesn't seem to affect Wonder Boy's ability to run around at all. It affects mine, but no, this guy's different. It's an interesting mechanic. It adds a sense of urgency, but in reality it's not really a factor until the very later levels where things do get dicey and you have less time with that vitality bar. The graphics are nice and cartoony, give the game a feeling of a Saturday morning kids cartoon. I think they've held up really well, big bold sprite work. Wonder Boy himself, however, he's fairly bland, very few kind of identifying features. Like he's got the blonde hair, but generic, kind of like there's nothing there to really have him stand out like Mario's mustache or Sonic and his spikes and stuff. And that's probably why in the sequels they kind of only have a passing resemblance to this initial Wonder Boy character here. There's a nice variety to the levels. The forest and tropical island environments, I think they hold up the best, if you can overlook the faux pas of the blue-skinned natives who set off the racist stereotype alarm. Musically, the game is very limited. The main theme plays throughout, apart from the final level of each area, which, whilst immediately recognisable to any 80s kid, it grates quickly. I played with the sound down after the second area. In conclusion, Wonder Boy holds up due to its simple and addictive gameplay. There's remarkable skill involved in knowing when to jump, when to double jump, when to dash, when to skid to a halt and throw axes. However, the game is designed to confound your first and your 31st, your 131st attempt, keeping you on your toes throughout. Should you jump for the banana to refill your vitality, well, there's going to be a boulder that flies in from the screen and crushes you straight away. That moving platform, it looks safe enough. You jump across to it, but you hadn't seen the bats that are up on the ceiling. They come down kind of coming towards you, so you try to dodge over them, jump over them. The platform moves away and you fall to your doom. I'm not sure I would have ever had the patience or the money to learn this game well enough to complete it in the arcades. So to my 10-year-old self, I would just like to say, don't worry, you're not rubbish, you're supposed to die there. It's like a life lesson or something. You've got to know what's coming up, what you're up against, before you can stand a chance of winning. Thank you for listening to this retrospective and review. I hope you enjoyed it. There are more on my channel. I also do some playthroughs of games that I talk about in these discussions. So pop by, watch some of the other videos if you feel like it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.